from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the AFC Nfc Pro Bowl.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Well, we are a week away from Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, but the very best players in the NFL have made the trip out to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Players the NFL has to offer on one stage. The AFC Nfc Pro Bowl underway here in Vegas. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
We know the arm strength is certainly there. He's got a big-time cannon for an arm, and that's not a surprise. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher, so the bloodlines come into play. The biggest question for Patrick Mahomes, can he harness that big arm, develop the touch that's needed, and carry his team towards the playoffs?
On first down, Mahomes. And incomplete to open things up. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Derrick Henry, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, is a 1st-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the 1st round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they do.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rodgers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. DK Metcalf, 51 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our 1st touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
His kick is good, and the NFC goes up 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. touchdown. Here's Kone to kick off. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
AFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Sure, as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
1st and 10.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. This is Henry. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Ball carrier taken down at the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
AFC nothing.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
The AFC punt team out there now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
So now we'll get our second look in this game at the NFC offense. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Rodgers now on first down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
On second down, Cook. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 25 yards that time. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. To Jefferson on the slant. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves it with 2 to go on second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Good coverage there by the AFC defense. It's 4th down. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep for the AFC, the Jets' Andre Roberts. too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The AFC offense making their way back out. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, it's Mahomes. This complete to Henry over the middle. Mahomes. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Second down at 4. And again, it's Mahomes. Kelsey, left side. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Justin Tucker on.
So we have come upon halftime of this Pro Bowl with the NFC on top of the AFC. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We got an excellent first half from the former MVP, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Just the 1 touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
NFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own.
The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll get this one way out just shy of the 45-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's another first down and what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rodgers now to throw. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And I think the AFC came up with that. They did. AFC football. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Left side caught by Diggs. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
44-yard line.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He dumps it off for Henry. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Complete to
and we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. This is caught at the end. And all the way in for the touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 38 yards. And the AFC is an extra point away from tying this game up. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of started there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers, complete. Jefferson to target. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the ground, it's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Joey Bosa, so strong, able to fight his way in there to make the play.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. $13 yards remaining on second down. They run it again with Cook. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Rodgers. It is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
The NFC punt team out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Mahomes now on first down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The AFC punt team out there now, standing just outside his own goal line. It'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the NFC back out there. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 37-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards, a first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Rodgers. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw is Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw, Rodgers. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up. Now Cook. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Cook. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Consecutive gains of 1, 2, and now 3 yards. Brings up 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming.
A 28-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute.
AFC 7.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Crew just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Roberts now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
AFC takes over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down 10-7, 24 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. To throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Derrick Henry. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
So, Charles, a victory for the NFC,
final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EAMaddenNFL. So long, everybody.